What up, dude? Welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out Podcast. Your home for a gang debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Kurt Steele. On today's show, we look at upcoming unrestricted free agents for the Lions and tell you who they should re-sign. But first, do us a quick favor. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video. All these things help us with that YouTube algorithm and get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. If you enjoy the content and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. It's free, $99 and 50 free cents. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers, and we need your help. And we are currently at 2673, and we have channel memberships now. So go check that out on our homepage. But now it's time to bring in my co-host for today's Hump Day Baby show of the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. First of all, we all know about Hump Day and the guy who is an expert on Hump Day, man. He's a ladies' pet, the biz regret UAC, doesn't yet the yam farmer himself. LL Cool. What's going on, my dude?
What's that, everybody? Good Wednesday morning.
Man, and not a, I'm not saying he ain't an expert because, he got a gang of kids, down there in Jackson, Michigan, man. He's a coach. He's a chef. He's the Wolverine. Who?
I do what I do. Coach Mike Jones. What's going on, Lion fans?
All right, man. If you're new to the channel, you don't know how the show works. We look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say that our balls up. If we disagree, we say that our balled on. And we give our reasons why we agree or disagree. No hot takes here. Man, you ain't getting first take. You ain't getting the facility. You ain't getting none of that crap over there on none of those debate shows, man. It's just true natural debate, our true thoughts and opinions about what's going on with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. We're going to tell you what we feel, man. We keep it 100 right here on our show. But you know how we get down, man. Hey, now it's time to look at what we're going to talk about. We already said what we're going to talk about today. It's just one topic. Detroit Lions unrestricted free agents. That's all we got today. We're going to talk about all of them cats, man. There's a whole gang of them dudes, man. I mean, a lot. I think it's like 21 of them cats. It was 22, but one guy, Mute, he already re-signed with the Lions. So I had to take him off the list. He was on the list initially, but Mute already re-signed. So let's look at the first group of free agents that we have on the roster that there's going to be unrestricted free agents coming up here in very shortly after the season's over. So let's look at the first group, right? So Michael Basley. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say it first. This is my group. I will not re-sign Michael Basley. Simple reason, he don't have the leg to compete with Jake Bates. They're going to bring in a person to compete with Jake Bates, but it ain't going to be Michael Basley. He doesn't have the leg. He tried to have the leg. What did he do? He hurt himself trying to compete with a guy like Jake Bates in camp last year. So, yeah, that's a no on Jake Bates. All right, Derek Barnes. I will re-sign Derek Barnes, man. New defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, helped develop him into a good linebacker, and he is the best blitzing linebacker on the team. Makes sense because his junior year at Purdue, he played defensive end. I like Trevor Nowatzki. I do like him, but you want to give me a choice between Nowatzki and Barnes? I'll take Barnes at Sam all day. Teddy Two Gloves. At this point, I'd rather have Teddy Two Gloves on the coaching staff as a replacement for JT Barrett than as a backup quarterback. Not saying he's not a good backup quarterback, but I just think his career trajectory right now is as a coach. He's been a mentor to Hendon Hooker since he's been in the league, and he can help him develop more, I believe, than Mark Brunell. So, to me, sign Teddy Bridgewater to the coaching staff, not the roster. John Cominsky. I like the commish, but I wouldn't re-sign that dude. Due to age and injury history, man, he's been hurt quite a bit during his NFL career, and he's returned 30 this November. Defensive end is an area where I think Detroit needs to go younger, and Cominsky is not really a starter. He's a rotational player at best. So keep it moving from John Cominsky and wish him luck, man. Marcus Davenport, same reason. I really wouldn't sign Cominsky. I mean, he had a good season, got to a good start, and it wasn't his fault. He was a victim of a dirty play in Arizona. However, his age and too much time on the IR makes it a no for me for Marcus Davenport. Carlton Davis III, you already know, man. He was our best coverage corner, coverage corner on the team last season. I mean, and he can continue to help develop Terrion Arnold and Ennis Registrar as a veteran defensive back. I think Davis is one of the best players that Brad Holmes brought in last season via trade. Yeah. If the price is right, I'm bringing CD3 back.
That's most important.
Yeah. Khalil Dorsey, the last guy I got on my list. I would bring him. And the reason why is that he brings something to the table that most of our backup defensive backs do not. His ability to return kicks. He's got blazing speed, and he showed flashes of what he can do in man coverage versus the Bills because Kendall Vildor was struggling a little bit. They kind of switched him out, and Dorsey was doing a better job, and until he got hurt. So, I mean, last season was just a bloodbath of injuries. But I think that Holmes can bring him back bring him back to the team on a team-friendly deal. So that's the first group. Looking at that, not resign Basley, resign Barnes, don't resign Bridgewater, Kaminsky, Davenport, and resign Davis and Khalil Dorsey. All right, fellas. First group, what you got on those guys that I kind of broke down as far as being potential returns or not returning to Detroit?
I feel it, man. I'm with you on that. I like Teddy, but look, we either believe in Hendon Hooker or we don't. We either believe in him or we move on. Like enough's enough. So I believe, yeah, Bridgewater, he's a good mentor. But everybody else, yeah, man, I feel the exact same way you feel. So now the only caveat that I would add into there is maybe we keep either Davenport or Kaminsky as depth rotational pieces, but other than that, yeah, I'm with you.
All right. For real. What you got, Ella?
Pretty much almost the same. I think we should definitely try to re-sign Derek Barnes because it's already reports that the Jets is going to try and get him. I don't really know what it is because they could probably use other linebackers, but they got two pretty good linebackers. So, but Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't really care. That's up to them. Sign him as a coach. I don't. Does he want to go back to coach football? Like, didn't he just win a state championship? So, like, shouldn't he? I've been thinking about that part. Like, shouldn't he? Like, are they just gonna let him go again and come back? Whenever you feel like it. And of course, CD3 got to sign.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, just to kind of close this out, man. With Bridgewater, I don't think it's a possibility he comes back on the coaching staff because he's already said, if you watch his Pivot podcast, he said he doesn't want to coach in the NFL because he likes to sleep. He said he's still kind of because he's still young. I mean, he is still young. I think he heads back to high school, but I mean, we'll see. But my thing is, at this point, like you said, Coach, you got to, it's either crap or get off the pot with Hendon Hooker, and I think it's time to go ahead and pull the cord and make him the full-time backup because once we got to the postseason, you brought in Teddy Bridgewater, and then in the playoff game, Bridgewater was the second guy, and Hendon Hooker was the emergency quarterback. I just didn't, you're kind of stifling his development. I mean, I get it. You want a solid veteran backup, but if you got to let the kid be who he is and be a backup player at this point. That's his role. He's a backup quarterback, and you got to let him be who he is. But hey, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. Hey, Hendon Hooker, you come back into North Carolina, man. Stop doing see me down here in Spring Lake because I know your family from down here in Spring Lake, North Carolina. So that's where I live. So come check, come holler at your boy, man, down here. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably ain't gonna see this, but somebody share it with him. You know what I'm saying? Holler at your boy down here in Spring Lake, man. But hey, get this content. Help us get this content to more Lions fans like yourself with this YouTube algorithm, man. Like the video and share it, man, and comment. Man, you can leave a emoji or something, whatever, in the comment section, man. I know you're gonna comment in the live chat. We're talking about on the video itself, man. Go ahead, hit that comment button, man, and hit the notification bell so you're getting fresh content from us right here in the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, man. All right, so LL, you up next, man, with the next group of guys, man. What you got on these guys?
This is a much different list. So we had starting out. I have Iffy 2 Melifonwu. We're talking about Iffy. And this is my what's the blanket statement? Anybody I say sign is at a appropriate price. And actually I got a shocker. I wouldn't re-sign Iffy. I would let him go ahead and walk. We could probably draft another guy. That's it. Emmanuel Mosley. I'll sign him for $17.50. $17.50 an hour. Al Qadim Muhammad. He played pretty well, so I think he'll come back as a pretty cheap piece as well. Ben Neiman. Probably at one of those cheap ass prices as well. Pat O'Connor. And I'm sorry for not saying their positions as well. So defensive back, Afitu Melifonwu, of course. Cornerback, Emmanuel Mosley. Defensive lineman or defensive pass rusher, Al Kadim Muhammad, and linebacker Ben Neiman. Defensive lineman Pat O'Connor. I bring him back as well. Sign him to one of those cheap deals. Levi Onwuzurike. I'm not sure if he'll want to sign here again. I heard some numbers on him. At those numbers, absolutely not. So I'm gonna let Levi walk. And Tim Patrick, my dog Kwame Tim Patrick, absolutely I would. What do you guys think about that?
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna let Coach go on last on this because you're the defensive. A lot of defensive players on this slide. So I'm gonna let you go second on this one. I'm gonna let you go last. For any of those guys, Iffy, he's iffy if he can play because he's been hurt so much. So yeah, he can ride. Looking at a player like Emmanuel Mosley, we've kind of given him too many chances in Detroit, man. E-Man got to go. Muhammad, yeah, I bring him back, man. Ben Neiman, he's a good depth piece. O'Connor, yeah, I like O'Connor. I like Levi Onwuzurike, and I think last year was a good year for him. As long as the contract's not bananas, I'd bring back Levi Onwuzurike. You see his development last year was good, man. He finally had a healthy year. I know he missed a game or two here and there, but it wasn't like the last few years where he was missing most of the season, or at least half. But I like Levi. And Tim Patrick, bring Tim Patrick back, man. I like what he brings to the offense, man. He's a big body, especially down there in the red zone, man. Look how many red zone touchdowns he's had last year. And then he can body people up, man. And we don't need an X receiver that can burn down the field because we got a guy who can burn down the field in JMO. So we need a big body X, and that's what he is. He's a big body receiver. He can box people out, and he's just good in the red zone, man. And I like Tim Patrick, but those are my thoughts on those guys. I'd bring back Tim Patrick, Levi, and O'Connor and Muhammad. The rest of those guys, okay, we'll holler at you. All right, when you see me in the streets, you can say something, man. I ain't lying. What you got, Coach, on these guys?
Yeah, I'm the same way with those guys. I would want to bring Levi back because he did have his healthy year pretty much. So I think Levi is a key. He offers versatility. I'm with you on everything that y'all said. Besides Iffy, I don't know what kind of contract he would be trying to ask for, seeing how he ain't never healthy. So if he on a team friendly league minimum type deal because he ain't never healthy, then I bring him back. If not, he got to walk gone, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See what I call him iffy because it's iffy he gonna be healthy. All right, man. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video. All of these help us with the Detroit Lions content and get it to more Lions fans like yourself, man. Hey, got a special video coming up today over on Lions Nation Unite. Go over there and check that thing out, man. I'm working on a little project for them. So go check it out. It'll be up later on today. So make sure you go check them out. And check out Hammer Moore and those guys over there too, man. They got a young new cat over there. Crazy name, man. His name is Chicken Nugget King 313, man. Great young content creator, man. He just started with LNU, man. So go check him out, man. Make sure you send him some barbecue sauce to go on those nuggets. All right, last group we got talk about today is the last group of unrestricted free agents for the Lions. Coach Jones, you up first, man. You up with this one. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah. Kyle Pecco. He's a guy that it would depend on if we are keeping either Levi or we're keeping one of those Kaminsky or Davenport. Then I would not keep Pecco. But if you let Kaminsky and Davenport go, then maybe I do look into keeping Pecco around the depth piece. Allen Robinson, you gotta let him go. He long in the tooth, man, and our explosive offense, we trying to move the ball. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. So I mean I like Allen Robinson as a player and stuff like that, man, but a little too old, my brother. Dan Skipper, man, the I mean, honestly, I don't know about Dan Skipper because at one point you want to say, oh, he does this and he does that, but I mean, really, you can find any lineman to really do that job. You know what I'm saying? Like to be an extra blocker and to kind of whiff on blocks when they playing tackle. So you know, that's the only one where I don't know. You know, I don't know. Ezekiel Turner, I would probably practice squad him. That's just where that is with that man. I keep him around the practice squad. I wouldn't let him take up a roster spot. Um, oh my Lord Jesus. Kendall Vildor. Man, you got to go, bro. And he plays decent at times, and then he plays god awful all the rest of the times, man. And just he got to go, man. We can find young death pieces to be our CB5. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to keep around a guy who he like Devin Lawson. He burnt toast, so he got to go. Jonah Williams, uh, practice squad him. Maybe he's not going to take up a roster spot because I trust Brad Holmes as a former D lineman to, you know what I'm saying, the drafting D lineman, man. You can go in the draft and you can find guys from smaller schools or from bigger schools that maybe was like a non-starter, maybe a partial starter, and you can get him in the fifth or sixth round, man. So I'm not pressed about that. And last but not least, Kevin Zeitler. That would, you know what, that would depend on, man. Ooh, I think I would keep Zeitler. I would keep Zeitler. Um, and as y'all know, I'm all for the new young dude coming in but I don't think he should be next to Sewell. I think that our young rookie, he should be next to Decker, and then Glasgow should go on over and be, you know, the backup center and backup guard. So that's what I think. But I don't know, you know, what do you fellas think about that, man? I would, like I said, I would. A lot of these guys I'm letting walk. I'm probably only keeping Zeitler, maybe Skipper. That's a maybe, and the rest of them practice squad, man. You know, and Pecco, depending on if we keep Kaminsky or Davenport, you know. So I don't know, man. What y'all think about this, man? Really, y'all gave me the practice squad cut people. That's cool. That's cool. We cool. Nah,
You're on mute. I don't know why I pointed. I could just say you're on mute.
Yes, all right. All right. Sorry about that. I looking at this list of these guys, Kyle Pecco, I don't even know if he wants to come back. You may see him in up in New England because of the fact that Terrell Williams went to New England, so you might see him up there. Robinson, no. Skip, absolutely. I like Skip, so I like what he brings. The extra tight end, you know, he's that big tight end. As long as he's reporting, I'm good with him. Ezekiel Turner, absolutely not, man. That dude looked like he was so lost in coverage a lot of times this year. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on him. Vildor, yeah. I mean, he is that Nevin Lawson type of player. What's the other? I mean, but after he kind of Amani Warrior, after he had the breakout season, he kind of reminds me of him after the breakout season when he just kind of just lost out there. You don't know if he's playing zone or man, and he don't know. So we don't know what he's playing, and he don't know what he's playing. So, Jonah Williams is a depth piece. We got him off the practice squad, and we kept him around. I mean, but yeah, the name Kevin Zeitler, I definitely would want to re-sign him, keep him at right guard, and move the dirtbag over to left guard. I think it's Graham Glassow's time to ride top to the sunset. I think that Mahogany should be the left guard, and then you can develop a right guard behind Zeitler. But Zeitler didn't, you know, few injuries here, but he didn't literally lose a step. When he was in, and it made a difference. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't notice when he was missing. With Graham Glasgow, sometimes when he was missing, it was like, ooh, I'm glad he's missing. But, and I like Graham Glasgow. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like him, but of those of those guys, that's who I would say those two are definitely the ones I would re-sign is Dan Skipper and Kevin Zeitler.
Well, for me, out of the list, for sure, Dan Skipper and Kevin Zeitler, if he want to come back. Everybody, and that's the one thing. Mike cheated because he said practice squad. That wasn't the choice. It was either you take him or you don't. So Mike cheated, but everybody else can go.
Yeah. Hey man, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. All these things help us with the Detroit Lions YouTube algorithm and get this content to more fans just like yourself. All right. So last thing, I want to touch on that we kind of talked about the other day, but we didn't get a chance to really because it was an if and not a full gone conclusion. Is the new OC was hired once we were off the air the other day, and it is John Morton, not Johnny Morton. Well, they call him Johnny Morton, but not Johnny Morton, the player who played the USC wide receiver that played for the Lions for those years, those early '90s teams. But John Morton, former offensive assistant for the Lions in 2022. He was the Jets offensive coordinator back in the day. Actually, McCown, the quarterback, had a career year, and I think the running back had a career year. The year he was the offensive coordinator in the Jets, he was kind of like guy that short end of the stick, where he was the offensive coordinator on a bad roster, and it was kind of like they gave him a year, and then it kind of was like, you got to go. Well, he was on a bad roster and got career years out of the quarterback and the running back. Because I had to do some research on him, because I ain't gonna lie to you, you all know on this show, I wanted Scotty Montgomery. I was like, why are we going outside the organization to get this guy? But this was the guy who has history with Dan Campbell. He was with the team. He helped develop Ben Johnson, actually. So kind of Ben Johnson kind of was under his umbrella. So he helped develop Ben Johnson as an offensive coordinator. So you look at it, right? And then you look at what he did with Bo Nix this year out there as a passing game coordinator in Denver. So I'm looking at him like, okay, at first it was kind of like it had to grow on me. I had to do some research, and okay, I'm like, all right. So we got a new offensive coordinator, John Morton, has history with Dan Campbell, worked with him before. So I kind of had to step back, take a deep breath, and kind of research it. And I'm like, okay, I mean, it is what it is. But my man Luke G said something the other day. I was on with him or the Road Lions UK pod the other day, and he was like, Dan Campbell he said in his press conference at the end of the season the other day, he's going to be more hands-on. So whoever's going to be the coordinators, he's going to have his pulse on what he wants from each of those guys. So even with Calvin Shepard, but Morton's a run first type of a guy anyway, and he fits our scheme. I mean, he does. I mean, you look at who was the number one quarterback in play action this year was Jared Goff. Number 2, Bo Nix. So he slid right in there above old Pumpkinhead up there in Minnesota. So all right. So what you got, LL, on Ben Johnson's replacement, John Morton?
Yeah, just like pretty much all of us here, I thought they might promote from within, but I was wrong, and I didn't really know much about him. I kind of thought, and initially I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I don't remember the name, but then of course you get more info on it, and pretty much what you said, or from what I get, the offense that Ben Johnson might have ran might have been his offense. So I don't know how true that is. But yeah, he definitely had a hand in what we have been doing these last couple of years. So hopefully we don't miss a beat. I saw something floating around saying that he was let go or whatever. They let him go from Denver or wherever. I don't know if it was from Denver or from us the first time because he threw the ball too much. I like that you threw that in there. That you.
No, that was at New York. That was
okay.
What's his name? The coach of the the coach of the Bucks now.
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles let him go from New
Okay.
York because Todd Bowles
That
was
don't
the head
count then.
coach there.
That don't count then. But
And yeah,
as long as but
that's why.
I mean, even if it do count, as long as he,
Mhm.
get with the program here and run that mug, everything will be all right. So yeah, it ain't from how it all sounds to me is that whatever he's about to do won't be too unfamiliar, and he about to come in here and call the offense that we already have anyway. So there you have it.
Yeah, it did surprise me. It shocked me a lot. Because like you, Kurt, I was expecting Scotty Montgomery. At worst, I thought the O line coach, I thought he would go over and be, kind of be. I mean, I know he is because he's a run game, guy. But I just thought that either one of those two, I thought they would go in house. But if Dan feels like like John Morton is the guy, then I trust it. You know what I'm saying? I can't argue with it. He's a guy who, groomed Ben Johnson. Maybe he won't call a few of them weirdo plays like Ben Johnson that kind of get us, it's kind of hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he just stick to the what we do best, and that's run that thing and throw off a play action. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm with it, man.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man, if you haven't done so already, do us a quick favor because I know that you know what to do. Follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms, my man. Coach Jones does a great job of Wolverine Sports Talk. He does some shorts over here as well. And make sure you check out his Beyond the Ropes boxing playlist right here on our channel, man. Big fight coming up this Sunday. The big homie Clarissa Shields fights Danielle Perkins for the undisputed women's heavyweight championship at Flint Dort Arena. So make sure you check that out, man. I know Coach Jones will have some good analysis of that coming up. So make sure you check that out. And of course, man, you know it's a hump day, so you know what it is. It's Thursday Eve, man. And make sure you go check out my man LL on his Instagram page for Thirsty Thursdays, man. Because put on your overalls because it's gonna be time to farm some yams tomorrow on LL's Instagram page, man. Now it's time for final thoughts for today's show, man. Coach Jones, you up first, man, on this hump day.
Yeah, man. Shout out to John Morton for getting the OC job. Um, I'm still kind of hurt, man, that I'm still watching football and the Lions ain't playing. It still gets to me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. But yeah, man. Have a happy Wednesday, man. It's the middle of the week. Have a good attitude, man. Go to work. Be happy. Try to bring joy amongst other people. And hey, go Lions.
All right, my man. You know what it is. The ladies' pet, the men's regret. You ain't seen nothing yet. What you got on this hump day, brother?
Real short, real sweet. Happy Wednesday morning. Have a great rest of your week. And put some hot sauce on that burrito if you can find one.
Okay. All right, for me, definitely, man. Thank you for starting your day off with us right here on the Boss Up All Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news rumors. Man, if you miss your Detroit Lions, man, you can watch 6 of them, brothers, 6 of them this weekend in the Pro Bowl games, man. So go check them guys out, man. Support our fellow Lions, man, out there doing the Pro Bowl games, man. You're gonna have some guys out there doing the competitions. You got JG out there. You definitely got Amara St. Brown is not participating, and neither is Penei Sewell. They're both out with injuries, man. So make sure you check those guys out. You got Taylor Decker over there, and a host of other Lions. You got Ja gonna be out there, and of course Brian Brandt. So make sure you go check out the Pro Bowl games this weekend, man. I know it ain't what we want to see. We didn't want to see them this weekend. We wanted to see them next weekend. So, but it is what it is, man.
Jared Goff shouldn't show his face in public.
Man,
Jared Goff will end up winning the QB games.
Anyways,
if he do win them goddamn QB games,
anyways, support your Lions this weekend in the Pro Bowl games, man. Hey, like I said, it's a hump day, baby. Middle of the week, man. Grind it out for the next couple of days. I'll be back live on Friday, so make sure you come through and check us out, man. We're gonna go talk about some things, man. Look at some of the other free agents, some restricted and exclusive rest free agents to see, who we should bring and we sign to, deals and who should we just attend their offers to. So make sure you come through on Friday and check that thing out, man. I might have a special guest come through, roll through, and talk about those guys as well, man. Hey, go to work today. Like Coach Jones said, spread that joy, man. You never know when a small, kind word can go and help someone through the rest of their day. But if you're having a bad day, please don't ruin anybody else's day with some BS. And whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do for your man, Kurt Steele. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL Cool Torrance and Coach Mike Jones and the big cat, Geronimo. This is Kurt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.